Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza? I know, it sounds completely impossible, right? But it's absolutely true. And this one fact is going to change the way you think about ancient history forever. Stick around, because your mind is about to be blown. Let's break this down and put it into perspective. The Great Pyramid of Giza, that massive, iconic structure, was finished around the year 2560 BCE. Now, let's jump forward in time to Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt. She lived around 30 BCE, if you do the math. That's a gap of over 2,500 years between the pyramid's construction and her reign. Now, let's fast forward from Cleopatra's time to our modern era. The very first iPhone was launched in 2007. The time between Cleopatra's death and the iPhone S birth is roughly 2,000 years. So, you see, she lived about 500 years closer to us and our smartphones than she did to the ancient Egyptians who actually built the pyramids. Isn't that just incredible? Her world was more recent to ours than to the world that built the very symbols of the kingdom she ruled. This brings up a huge misconception we have about anciento Egypto. When we hear that phrase, our minds tend to mash everything together. We picture pyramids, powerful pharaohs, mysterious hieroglyphs, and of course, Cleopatra, all existing in the same historical moment. But that's not how it was at all. The civilization of ancient Egypt lasted for over 3,000 years. That's a longer span of time than the entire history of Western civilization since the Roman Empire. For Cleopatra, the pyramids weren't just part of the landscape. They were already ancient wonders. They were as old and mysterious to her as the ruins of ancient Greece and Rome are to us today. She looked at them as symbols of a glorious but distant past, a legendary time long before her own. And who was Cleopatra? Really? She wasn't just some mythical queen draped in gold and mystery. Cleopatra the Seventh was a highly intelligent and capable ruler. She was fluent in multiple languages and governed one of the most powerful and influential kingdoms in the Mediterranean. Her world was a melting pot of Greek philosophy, Roman politics, and emerging science. Her capital city, Alexandria, was home to the Great Library, which was the undisputed intellectual center of the ancient world. In many ways, Cleopatra's era was more modern and globalized than we often give it credit for. It was a time of complex diplomacy, extensive trade networks, and even early technological innovations like water clocks and other mechanical devices. Her life was far from the primitive image we might have. So, why does this fact about the timeline feel so surprising? It's because our brains have a tendency to compress the past. We think of everything that happened long ago as existing in one big, blurry time period. But history isn't flat. It's deep and layered. The fact that there were more years between the construction of the pyramids and Cleopatra's reign than between her and us is a powerful reminder of this. It shows us that the word ancient doesn't always mean the same thing, and that empires rise and fall over vast, almost unimaginable stretches of time. So, when Cleopatra gazed upon the pyramids, she wasn't looking at a contemporary marvel. She was looking at a relic from a bygone era, much in the same way we look back at her life today. So, the next time you hear someone talk about ancient Egypt, remember this. Even Cleopatra thought the pyramids were ancient. History is so much deeper, richer, and more interconnected than we often realize. If this fact blew your mind, let me know in the comments below. And tell me, what other mind-bending time gap facts would you like me to explore next? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical deep dives.